What a day on Saturday in Cincinnati. I had a cousin who was there who was shooting back some video, and whether he was entering the game, at the game, after the game, all of it looked like just a electric, emotional day for the Midwest, for Cincinnati, for Bengal fans. I mean, it was one of those moments that they'll probably have mile marked for the rest of their life. You'll have kids named Burrow and Chase and Joey and JaMarr, I think, by the truckloads after what they have accomplished this year.
White JaMarrs running around.
Yeah, no, everywhere in Cincinnati.
My daughter JaMarr.
But Burrow and the boys roll on Saturday as they beat the Raiders 26-19 in the postseason for the first Bengals postseason win in 31 years. Incredible. Unreal. Nobody surprised down here, but just to watch it play out has been amazing. And we catch up with one of our favorites, man, Coach Jimmy Burrow, as the GOAT to the GOAT is here on this Monday morning. What a time to be alive, sir. Hooday. Good morning. How are you?
Well, hooday to you guys, and it was awesome. You know enough about Joe and JaMarr not to bet against them, right?
Yeah,
so we had those guys going full speed on Sunday, so that was a good thing.
What's it like, Coach, as just being somebody that's from that area? Forget the fact that it's your son who is the quarterback and is the architect of all of this stuff, but as somebody who has lived in that region for a long time and has seen the down days of being a Bengals fan and know it all too well, you could feel that emotion coming through the television set on Saturday afternoon with that win in hand. What is it like to just be in that area right now?
Well, I was so wrapped up in college football for all those years. We followed the NFL, but we weren't specifically a Bengals fan. But, I had a lot of friends, and Joe had a lot of friends that were Bengals fans and definitely are now. And just to see the reaction in the stands, to be there personally and see that, and then to read all the comments and from really just everybody. I mean, it's pretty amazing that they had gone that long, because they've had some good years over the years, but definitely not for a long time. And just so happy for the Bengals and the city, and really the whole state is bought into Bengal mania right now for sure. So it's awesome.
Joey goes for 244 and 2 touchdowns on Saturday. One of those touchdowns will probably be talked about forever, but who cares? They win and move on. Coach, how good is he playing right now? When you watch him play, he feels like an elite quarterback in the world now. He feels almost in the same vein as the top that do it in the profession. When you watch him play, just, I know it's hard to take off the dad glass. You got to be so proud, but just as a guy who knows the game, how high of a level is he playing at right now?
Well, he's willing to throw the ball deep and make big plays, but the key in the playoffs that I've been watching all these teams is not to turn it over. And he would tell you that the last 4 or 5 weeks, every game's really been a playoff game, and he's done a great job of making sure that he didn't take too many chances, and he didn't give the other team an opportunity to make a big interception. So that's been a big part of his transition over the last several weeks, is to take care of the football, and he's seeing coverages. Gus Bradley for the Raiders is one of my better friends in coaching. We coached together at North Dakota State, and Joe knew going in that it wasn't going to be easy, and he wasn't just going to be able to run up and down the field and throw passes at will, and he was very willing to take what Gus and that defense was going to give him, and it worked out. But he's protecting the ball is the number one thing right now.
You talked about Joe Burrow kind of knowing maybe some of the defenses and maybe using a little bit of your brain to help him through like offensive situations. Every time, have you talked to any of your friends maybe in the coaching circles, like, would you stop zero blitzing Joe Burrow because he's going to beat you every time with it?
Well, I know Gus only blitzed, I think, 3 times totally.
Smart man. They learned from the Ravens.
On Sunday. And they just have a great feel for it. They got 3 weapons with those receivers that they're just hard to cover them all. And Joe, I think, does a really good job of knowing which matchup if they do zero blitz you. But people may do it here in the next few weeks, but they've pretty much given up on that. As I said, I think the Raiders 3 total blitzes the whole game. So yeah, I think you have to sprinkle it in sometimes. There's different areas of the field maybe present itself to do it, but it's not something you want to make a habit of doing against the Bengals right now.
What do you make of what JaMarr Chase has been able to do in his rookie season as an NFL? I figured at some point he would hit a rookie wall. He has gotten better over the last couple of weeks. What do you make of how good he is?
Well, I've seen it before, so I can't tell you that I'm surprised. And Joe has known, all along when the 2 first-team All-Pro receivers are Justin Jefferson and JaMarr Chase. It kind of tells you what we had going for us back there in LSU. But JaMarr's a hard worker, and the one thing that I probably mentioned on this show before that Joe's always said is JaMarr is really, really smart. He's gotten so that he definitely over the years understands coverages. He listens to Joe. He talks with Joe about what they're seeing and what the opportunities are. And so it's amazing that he's already an NFL superstar. But as I said, it doesn't surprise me. It's just it's been fun to watch. We see his parents periodically, and we're happy for them also, and we're definitely happy that he's on our team.
Got to be some cool celebrations with Jimmy Chase for sure.
Oh yeah, he's fun to be around.
So they gave it to him 3 times on Saturday, and he had 9 catches. You're a defensive mind. How would you defend him?
Well, I mean, you got to know where he is at all times, and you do have to roll up a corner sometimes in his direction, but we make it hard because of T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and Uzama does a good job, and then you still have Joe Mixon. So the weapons are such that if you do decide to double team JaMarr, then Joe knows that he can see it pre-snap, and then he's definitely willing to spread the ball around. Just like again at LSU, spread the ball around all the time. To all those great receivers we had at LSU, and he's doing the same thing with the Bengals. But JaMarr is certainly somebody when he goes in motion, lines up in the backfield, you can see heads spinning out there about, hey, where's JaMarr? So he takes a lot of pressure off the other receivers, but then those receivers take a lot of pressure off of JaMarr not to really start pressing when they double it.
How quickly was that relationship formed between JaMarr and Joey? Because Joe Burrow seems like the kind of guy, and you obviously would know this, that he'll let you kind of do whatever, but if you're bought in and you want to be early and you want to work with him, he'll take you under his wing and he'll be your guy. And it seemed like that happened very early on at LSU, and almost was probably the reason that Joe Burrow probably pushed a little bit to get JaMarr. So how early on was that, like, I guess, hard work mentality? Like, they probably meshed immediately, I would imagine.
Well, I know that first year, if you can remember, it was a work in progress, but JaMarr is I've seen in JaMarr's interviews that he said Joe helped him understand coverages, helped him to watch film. So I know talking to Joe, he knew he was just an incredible athlete, and it takes a little time, but certainly Joe knew that he would be something special, I think, down the road, and just the hard work that JaMarr put in. Like I said, he's smart. So if you're willing to work hard and you got that kind of athletic ability, it's going to happen very fast. So, it's just a great relationship. There's no doubt Joe wanted them to draft JaMarr. He stayed pretty much out of the process, I believe, but I know they sensed who Joe wanted
for sure.
Absolutely. This piece of paper.
Yes. Coach, isn't that his best attribute? And I know I'm speaking to his father, so it's hard to ask you these questions, but you understand the locker room, the game, and what it means. Isn't his best attribute is that he makes everybody around him better? You can see the buy-in from his teammates to where it's almost like a sacred event when they compete with Burrow because you don't want to let him down. Yeah. I mean, they have this feeling like whether it's watching the defense, the wide receivers, the offensive line, the running, even the coaches have an air to them of like, we are accountable to 9. And from a coach standpoint, isn't that like the top of his scouting report, that he makes everybody better?
Everybody's at his birthday party.
Yeah, I think leadership ability for a quarterback at any level, especially the NFL, is at the top of the list. And all those things you just said are definitely true. And but his ability also to process coverages and defenses is close behind. And so you combine those, and you put him with great receivers like we have, then you're seeing what the result of that is. But he's always had, I think, that ability to bring out the best in his teammates. He had a group in high school that went to the state championship, the group at LSU national championship, and now we're moving forward in the playoffs. And I think anybody that's watched him, even again since 3rd and 4th grade, would agree with you with that.
I love talking about that state championship game. What do you remember for that night? Because I think that game's gotten a lot of run here over the last couple of weeks.
Lost.
Right, like he was playing safety. He had an interception that night. He had a big defensive play that night. What do you remember about that game?
Well, we were talking about it going into Sunday's game because it was so cold, and I said, somebody said, "Well, isn't that cold weather going to bother Joe?" And I said, "I think the last time the coldest game he ever played in, he either threw 6 or 7 touchdowns, so I don't think it's going to bother him." But it was a great football game. It was one of those. Similar to maybe Sunday, because they had the ball last. And I know Joe's always looked back like, hey, I wish I'd have had one more chance. And he thinks about it. I thought maybe with all the many games over the years that he's played at an elite level at LSU and now the Bengals, you might put it behind you. But I just saw him get asked that question not too long ago. Yeah. He said he thinks about it every day. So hopefully one of these days the Super Bowl will put that behind him. But it was just a great day up in at Ohio State Stadium, and really all of Athens was there, and the Bulldogs put on a show. But it just at the very end. We came out on the short end of it, but he remembers, believe me.
I believe it. It sounded like an epic matchup when you hear that game described. Vrabel and the Titans this weekend, a hell of a matchup. They were off this weekend. Christian Fulton will probably draw the assignment of guarding JaMarr Chase on Saturday afternoon. What do you know about the Titans, and what do you expect the challenge to be against this high-flying offense that Joey's bringing in?
Well, we played them last year before Joe got hurt, and we were able to beat them there in the Cincinnati. So, there's some familiarity with what they do, I'm sure, with Zach Taylor and the coaching staff and even Joe and the guys. So it's going to be a great matchup. Zabel certainly does a great job on defense, and I think they do play to their defense, but they do a good job. They got weapons on offense, and I think the beast might be released this week too. So I'm sure he's ready to go there at running back. He's been out for a while. There's rumors he's healthy. So
put Joey at safety
you got to stop him if he's playing. You got to stop him. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Derrick Henry expected to go this weekend for a divisional round matchup versus Cincinnati. What a cool time to be a Bengals fan. What a cool time to be alive and to have some LSU flair in the mix, and having the passion down here of keeping up with the Bengals has been really fun, man. On Saturday, that was cool to watch the Bengals get the first postseason win in 31 years. I know, obviously, that you are a proud dad and a proud fan right now. Please tell Miss Robin and the crew hello for us down here in South Louisiana. Miss you guys down here, and best of luck this weekend.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate all the support of all the LSU fans, and it's going to be a fun game this weekend. Go Bengals.
Absolutely.
Coach, real quick, what are your thoughts on the glasses that Joey B was rocking at the press conference?
I wouldn't recommend them for him again, but
there's your wives.
Somebody said, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "That's just Joe being Joe."
Absolutely.
There's some rumor maybe that JaMarr had something to do with it, so I'm going to have to do a little more investigation.
We will find out next week, hopefully after a win, as we'll catch up with you. Thank you, Coach.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right,
Thanks.
man, there he is.